everyone, today I'll be reviewing this brand new comedy special just dropped on Netflix called The Hot Seat. And this comedy special, it is from French, like it takes place in Paris, and it's about all these soccer players. Some of them are world champion, like they played in the World Cup and they are champion from there. So all these people here, we see they're getting roasted by all the comedian. They comes on here, they roast them, and when I see this was coming, I was like, whoa, wow. So this isn't dubbed in English, so you have to watch the in French version. And so I don't know any French myself, so I thought, oh, it will be interesting to see. And I was watching with the subtitle, and turns out it's not that hard to watch French comedy special. I was really surprised how much I understood their joke and how much I liked their joke. And some of these jokes are not like no meaning. I'm familiar with any of this player or any of this comedian. I have never seen, but this comedy special, it is kind of like how the roasting series are on Netflix. Like recently, of course, there was a Kevin Hart roast, which got a lot of controversy. Like a lot of people got mad at that Kevin Hart roast. So watching this roast, like a French version, I was really surprised, honestly, because all these soccer player, like all this comedian, they comes and tells all this joke. And all these soccer player, they have this like their face, they're ready to take all the joke. None of them got mad or angry, and the audience was just laughing. It had really good vibe. Like as the audience, I was just like, whoa, like this show really had very pleasant, good vibe from all the comedian. They were telling the joke. I guess one thing about watching this like comedy special, I was really surprised how all this player here, none of them seem getting offended by any joke. All of this player, they were really very chill and cool about all the joke they were telling about them, although they are very famous people, but all this joke, none of them got offended. I was like, whoa, because in recently, obviously, Kevin Hart roast joke, and some of the joke, a lot of people in America, they got offended. It's hard to tell joke these days. People get really offended by any joke you tell. Compared to that, I thought, this French version of roasting, none of these player, I mean, like, I don't know in real life they got offended or not. But based on this roasting, looks like they were all chill about it. And I like that, it gave me good vibe watching this. Some of the jokes are mean. Although the all centers around, one guy, I think he maybe have a lot of kids or something. It's like you have so many kids you don't know, like your father or something. So these are main joke they're telling them, But still all these people, they had really smiley face. They're taking the joke like, hey, come, give me your biggest punch, right? They had this attitude. So this show really was very chill. And even though I don't understand French, although I do, maybe here and there I would understand, like maybe a little bit I understand, not that much. But still, I thought anybody can watch it, like, because this was very funny, like especially one guy, his jokes was really funny. Like he was saying, once again, everyone is mad. Why? Like the French national team, like most of the players are black, and he said, if you wanna win the soccer game, you have to give black people a chance, right? And I was just like, that's really funny. Because it's true, like French national team, most of the players are black. Not just in French, I think in Canada, in America, most of the soccer players are not just soccer. I guess many other games are like the black people are good at playing, so they get chance. But I didn't know French people are mad at that, because I just recently came from French. French is very diverse country. That is what I loved about in Paris. Paris is very diverse city, honestly. Like you always hear about Paris, you're like thinking yourself, like French people going to be cranky and mean. That's how Hollywood portray them. And when I was in French, people are really very chill and very diverse. Paris, like itself, the city itself is so diverse. I was like, whoa, wow, I was so wrong. So, watching this comedy roast special, it was really pleasant, I must say. Uh, all the comedians are really very funny. Their jokes are, yeah, I wouldn't say they're very outrageously like mean, but they're not like easygoing joke either. There's all kind of joke. Most of the joke, they're saying, this some of this like a World Cup player, like they didn't play in the World Cup and yet they won the World Cup and they got the credit. So I like that joke. I was like, wow. Like he was just part of the team and the team won, and but he still got the credit. So I thought, so this kind of joke, yeah, they had many this kind of joke, and all this joke I found it funny because maybe because I came from there, so I have some idea, and also I'm watching all this documentary on Netflix. There was a really good documentary came from French couple of weeks ago. If you have not seen my review, it's about the time their team went to this. Oh, I forgot the name. If you have seen my review, check it out. That was a good document. Not good. I found that documentary to be interesting. And yeah, although that documentary didn't do justice to what happened. But anyway, this roast was quite interesting. Honestly, I wasn't sure how like the French people will react to this kind of roasting. But watching this, I felt like it had really very pleasant environment. These people are really chill. They are there to get the joke, and they didn't get that offended. None of this player got offended. In America, this kind of roasting show, people get really offended. That's the problem, right? Like, you cannot tell joke anymore. In here, in America, everyone get offended if you say something, except Kevin Hart. He did not get offended. Although his jokes were very like tame joke they told in Kevin Hart roast, and yet people got mad. So so compared to that, this show, it was quite good. I did like. Honestly, so it was good roasting show, and that's my thought on this. Let me know in the comment what do you think about this. If you enjoyed this review, don't watch other reviews on other show. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe. Until I see you next time, please take care.